it is time. The Daily Spice, 10 minutes of inspiration and empowerment and motivation to get you through your day. Good morning. Let's talk about it this morning, breaking the stigma. Why mental health conversations matter. Why do we have to do them? Why do we need to have these conversations? We're midlifers. We need to have these conversations now. We don't need to wait. We don't need to think about it. It is important. And yes, you get to have this conversation with a licensed professional counselor. So think about it this way. Here's how I want you to think about your mental wellness. You weren't created to suffer silently. You were created to heal boldly. Stop suffering in silence. And I need you to heal boldly. I need you to heal out loud. Listen, I need you to heal. Let's get it done. Y'all want to talk about it this morning? So, can I share with you how I actually got into as a mental health practitioner? Long story short, I didn't have a person like me growing up. I actually started out as a school counselor. And my first experience with a school counselor was for her to tell me I wasn't smart enough to go to college. Yes, a Caucasian female told me that because I had failed the second semester of Algebra 2, I was not smart enough to go to college. Fast forward 2 years, I go to college, following some friends, and I partied too hard and had way too much fun. And guess what? Got kicked out. That's right, got kicked out. But then it wasn't until I came home that summer and I spent the summer with my grandmother and my great grandmother, and I heard the voices of wisdom. I heard their voices. I heard them tell me how important it was for me to succeed. I heard them tell me how important it was that I got an education because neither of them were able to get an education. But even in hearing their voices, there was still a voice that I heard in the back of my mind telling me I was not smart enough to go to college. And even though that voice was back there were other voices that were louder than that voice telling me I wasn't smart enough to go to college. See, I told y'all last week you need to be able to hear voices and to hear what your own voice sounds like in the midst of hearing other people's opinions of you. And even as I continued to go through college, that voice was still back there. But here's what I did. I turned that voice from a voice of pain and hurt to a voice of fuel. She told me I wasn't smart enough to go to college, but not only did I get an associate's degree, I got a bachelor's degree, I got a master's degree, and then I went on to get a doctorate degree. And so here's what I want to remind you of. When we don't know our own voice, when we can't distinguish our own voice, our own mental wellness is at stake. Yes, this conversation is about you ending the silence in your head, about you ending the hurt, the pain, and the drama, and it's about you healing. My healing from being told I wasn't smart enough to go to college came from listening to other people tell me who I really was. And I took their voices and I talked to myself to be able to hear my own voice to say, girl, you can do this. My mental wellness was at stake because I began to wear a label that wasn't even mine. It was that woman's label of what she thought Black girls should do. But it wasn't until I got my own vision of who I was that I was able to say, oh, I can do this. But not only then as a young 20-year-old, but even now as a 54-year-old woman. So can I talk to you this morning about how healing, because I had to heal from her telling me I wasn't smart enough to go to college. That foundation, that voice that she gave me created a crack in my own foundation, y'all. I'm just being transparent this morning. Her telling me that gave me a crack in my own foundation, a crack in the way that I saw myself. It cracked my self-esteem. It cracked my self-worth. It cracked my self-image that I was not this person I thought I was because I allowed somebody else's voice to be louder than my own. But this morning, y'all, I'm going to tell you 3 ways that you can begin the healing process. It was a process for me. I wish I could tell y'all that I've just blinked my eyes and woke up and started feeling better. That was not the case. Oh, can we just keep talking? Because even though I wasn't told I was smart enough to go to college, some of y'all got some traumas of your own. Some of y'all were rejected by family members. Some of y'all were abandoned by family members. Some of y'all were rejected by people who you thought loved you. Some of y'all had a knife stabbed in your back by people you thought was going to be around with you forever and ever. Amen. Some of y'all had folks who had done some really awful things to you. But can I tell you, the healing begins today. This is why mental wellness conversations are so important for us, because in midlife, it's time for us to live our best life. It's time for us to start unpacking this baggage. It's time for us to stop acting like we the strong Black woman. It's time for us to start acting like everything, oh, it's okay. I got this. I'm going to keep moving. No. Sis, if you're hurting, you're hurting, and it's okay to hurt. It's okay to admit that I'm hurting. Y'all, for so long, I carried that woman's voice in my head to the point to the day I got hooded with my doctorate degree, I had to shut her voice up so that I can enjoy the moment. Listen, I had to heal from that, from a therapist telling you she had to heal. I had to heal from parents who were good at loving their kids but sucked at loving each other as adults. I had to heal from grandparents who were alcoholics, who raised kids who didn't know how to love each other. Listen, my parents were good parents to us, but they sucked at loving each other. And it's all because they grew up in households who didn't have parents to demonstrate love to them. And so it was generational, but I had to begin the healing process. Why? Because my mental wellness was at stake. Y'all don't hear me this morning. My own mental wellness was at stake. There are some things that I had to heal from in order for my relationships to flourish. There were some things I had to heal from in order for my life to go from just being, ordinary to extraordinary. There were some things I had to heal from to be able to help other people in their healing process. Can I talk to y'all this morning? So let me give you 3 points because my time is almost up. 3 points, 3 reasons why you need to begin the healing process with your mental wellness. Here's number 1, silence sustains your suffering. You being silent is going to sustain your suffering. You being silent is going to sustain your suffering. When we don't talk about mental health, pain festers, and it festers in our own isolation. You know, some of y'all always say this, I don't fool with people. I just like being by myself. That's isolation. That's isolation. And listen, pain festers, pain grows. Y'all know how mold and mildew grows around in the house sometimes when it's too muggy and too damp and too wet. Yeah, your own pain is just like that. It festers in isolation. It grows like mold and mildew when you are not around people. Silence sustains suffering. See, here's what speaking does. Speaking disrupts the cycles of hidden hurt. See, you got some hidden hurts. Can we be honest this morning? Marjorie, you got some hidden hurts. You know what? Tamika, you got some hidden hurts. Zenobia, you've got some hidden hurts. And see, not speaking hides those hidden hurts. But here's the thing I want you to remember. You can't heal what you don't reveal. That's right. You cannot heal what you don't reveal. In order to heal it, you've got to reveal it, Gail. That's right. Gail says definitely. That's it. You've got to reveal what you're ready to heal. And sometimes it's scary. But here's what I do know. Staying in pain hurts. Here's what I do know. Staying in pain hurts. Here's the second thing that I want you to remember. Conversations cultivate passion. Conversations cultivate compassion. Listen, you got to have conversations with people. Stop trying to hide your pain and begin to have the conversations. Conversations help you to heal, whether it's a conversation with your coach, whether it's a conversation with your therapist. Conversations cultivate compassion. Sharing your struggles, you can't, listen, don't be foolish and share your struggles with people who can't help you. But you share your struggles with people that you know will be empathetic and can support you. Your vulnerability fosters your community, not your weakness. Can I say that one more time? Your vulnerability fosters your community, not your weakness. And if I'm not speaking to you, because see, there's some people that are on here right now, I need you to go ahead and get off and stop being a distraction. Okay? In Jesus' name, God bless you and have an amazing day. Here's the third thing, and I'm done for the day. Transparency triggers transformation. Listen, you got to be honest with yourself. Being honest about your emotional and mental struggles creates space for God to do the work. Remember, I told you last week, when you try to be strong and walk around and be all that and a bag of chips and try to just keep it moving and suppress your own feelings, listen, you're actually telling God you got it all together and you don't need his help. See, God can't move when you're not at your weakness. And so being transparent actually transforms you. Being transparent transforms you. So being honest about your emotional and mental struggles creates the space for God to do his work. Hiding only delays your healing. Hiding delays your healing. And honesty invites the breakthrough. You got to be honest. You got to stop hiding. Our testimony, it sparked someone else's healing journey. I know the more I began to talk about how I was in my first marriage, how I was when I started this menopause and midlife journey, how I was, the more I began to talk about it, the more I realized, you know what? Other women need to hear this too. Transformation comes through transparency. Transformation comes through transparency. You got to remember that I'm hiding what I need to heal. And it won't heal as long as you're hiding it. Those are the three reasons why we need to make sure that we're having these conversations about our mental wellness, ladies. We've got to be able to share with other women because transparency triggers transformation, because conversations cultivate compassion with other women, and because silence sustains your suffering. This morning, I want you to think about who in my circle can I begin to have these conversations with. See, no shouting, no screaming this morning, because I really want you to think about it this morning. Here's the affirmation I want you to just put in your spirit today, because it's all about our mental wellness. It's all about our mindset. May is Mental Wellness Month, and I'm starting early. I'm starting today because I want you to start thinking about your mental wellness just as you think about your physical wellness. Here's the affirmation I want you to walk away with this morning. I am free to feel. Yes, sis. You're free to feel your emotions and everything. You're free to speak and you're free to heal. Say it with me. I am free to feel. I am free to speak. And I am free to heal. That's right, sis. Mental Wellness Month, Mental Health Month. I like to say mental wellness as we kick it off, because I need you to start thinking about midlife differently. All right, y'all, until tomorrow morning, y'all have an amazing day and do what? Live life spicy. Y'all heard my tea just go off? It's time for me to go. All right, y'all have an amazing day and remember to live life spicy. Remember, your transparency triggers your transformation. Stop hiding what you know you need to heal and get it done this week. Let's go for it. All right, see y'all tomorrow morning.